Welcome to the Toy Vox. We got a long episode today, but it's going to be full of a lot of information. You know, if you're sitting there thinking, man, I love Warhammer, I love toys, this line looks amazing, but I have no idea where to begin. Hopefully this video gives you information on where to buy figures, where you can get deals, and then also on the second half of this video, we're going to get into what figures are currently available. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start with our stores first. So our first store, and this is my number one pick, is going to be Cool Toys Club. It's run by a gentleman named Lloyd Chen. He's an amazing person. This company is based out of Hong Kong. They are typically the first to post new pre-orders, so go ahead and find them at cooltoysclub.com. On this website, you can pre-order your figures. They ship to you quickly. If you can see in this picture, there's 5% off offered on newer pre-orders. They've got amazing prices. Up next is Locker Toys. This was one of the first websites that I found this line on outside of Games Workshop. Gosh, almost a year ago. They've got an amazing service. They do offer loyalty points, so I don't remember exactly what that ratio is. I want to say that it's 1 yen for every dollar that's spent. So you do get a nice chunk of change back on each purchase, which you can use to put towards future purchases. They do offer plenty of figures on pre-order, but I will say figures do sell out, and this is for any website and really any toy line. Once these figures are sold out, if you see on one website that they're gone, you need to move quick. And I say that because once these are gone, they don't get a second run. Games Workshop was offering figures at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. They did it with the first 5 sets. They offered the Ultramarines and Victor Warsuit. After that, they did the Librarian. They offered the 4 Space Wolves. And they kind of stopped. I want to say Games Workshop announced in January or February of this year that they were going to offer the Space Wolves and Victor Warsuit for pre-order, and nothing ever came of it. I know back in June they offered the Death Company 4-pack, the Librarian, and the Ultramarines Intercessor set, and prior to them they were doing a pre-order as made to order, where they gave you 1 week to place that order. After that week, that was it. You didn't have a chance to get them directly through Games Workshop again. Most of those people he pre-ordered, they ended up waiting about 6 to 7 months to get their figures. A lot of people weren't happy about that, which really led to the boom of a lot of these websites that I'm about to show you. That boom has really been beneficial to everybody. Now, is Games Workshop going to open pre-orders again? That I'm not sure of. Hopefully they do. It really helps out anyone who maybe missed an older set that might be sold out. They want to go back and pick that up. I think it would be a good call for Games Workshop to reopen those. But back to this video, this is Locker Toys. Like I said, keep an eye on this website. They have a pre-order page separate from their in-stock page. That way you know, okay, these are pre-orders, these are in stock. Their in-stocks typically ship quick. I will say there are a few times where you are offered free shipping, which is a great benefit. Sometimes you're stuck staring at a tracking number for 20 plus days until it actually leaves their warehouse. If you're impatient like me, that's a total buzzkill. But if you're okay with that and you're not paying for shipping, you can wait. You know that figure's locked in, it's yours. You just got to wait 20 plus days to get it. Then I would say go with Locker Toys. Your next option is Sideshow Collectibles. Their prices are much higher than normal. I don't know if I've stated this in the past, but I will now. If you go direct through China, through any of their distributors, you're going to pay a lower price. So if you want to save money, I would say leave Sideshow as a secondary or even a third option. The positive of them, besides them having rewards points that you can again use for future purchases, they do have payment plans. So if you wanted the Ultramarines Venerable Dreadnought, which their price is $145, you should be able to get that in 2 payments, somewhere in the $70 range. I know the other Ultramarines Dreadnought, I want to say that one's closer to $200. I think the last time I checked, It's either 2 payments at $85 or 3 payments of like $60. Anything over $100 at Sideshow also requires a NRD, which is a non-refundable deposit. So keep that in mind whenever you place your purchase. You might have to come out of your pocket $10 to $20, but it locks you in on that order. And you can go ahead and set up your monthly installment plans on the 10th or the 20th, the 25th, whatever works for you. And then on top of that, again, going back to the Ultramarines Venerable Dreadnought, that 145, you're going to be putting another $20 in shipping on top of that, and then your taxes, depending on where you are, or even import fees if you're out of the country, which God knows why you would even want to buy from Sideshow at that point. This is going to be your more expensive option, but it is still an option. So if something sells out in the other markets, then you know that you can come to Sideshow and more than likely grab it. The next website is Gundammit. This is another Chinese-based company. They get pre-orders up pretty quick. As you can see, they do offer sets. So there's some Space Marine sets here for $126. You know, they've got the Black Templar bike at $48, which is a pretty good price. Typically, they offer free shipping. They usually have like a 3% off discount on everything, which is a pretty good price. They do have a deposit option of $1, which, I mean, it's $1. You can. Everybody can afford to lose a single dollar, so that's not really that big of a deal. And of course, that dollar goes towards the overall cost, which is a great option there. There's a lot of really good reviews on Google for any of these stores that I'm listing here, but take my word for it. These are really good websites. They're great stores. Our next option is usagundamstore.com. This is a company based in Daytona, Florida. So if you're looking at these prices right now and you're shitting yourself, you definitely should be. USA Gundam started carrying the Warhammer line, I want to say in May or June of this year. And then suddenly in July, they put everything on discount, and it's deep discount. Some of their figures, like especially their Krieg, they were going for like $21 a piece. Most of their stock is gone. You'll see when you're scrolling through the main page, if you search Warhammer, it'll show that they have certain figures on sale with a red tag. If you click on that, it may say out of stock. Typically that green heart means that it's in stock. But if you see something on this site that's in stock, I suggest getting it. If you sign up for their email, you get a 10% off. You can slap that on top of the savings. They also like to send text messages with special codes. I can tell you right now, as of September 20th, if you use code SUMMER, SUMMER, it saves you 10%. I used it earlier today on 2 Space Wolves, so I'll be happy to add those to my collection at a super cheap cost. I mean, $29.99 for those figures. On their website, they retail $45.99, which is about the average. I think Locker Toys may have had them at like $3 cheaper than that, but you're paying taxes on this site. You're also paying shipping. I want to say I got those 2 figures after taxes, after shipping, and after the discount. I think it was still like $65. So you can't beat it. So anything you see on this website, I would suggest grabbing. They have not put anything new up, which makes me wonder if they're done with the line or not. Hopefully that's not the case. I hope they get more in, and truthfully, I hope they put those on deep discount too. That way we can all benefit from it and grow our collection. The next website is Big Bad Toy Store. A lot of people call this one BBTS. This is a great website. They've been around for years. They also have some higher price point. No deposit required on anything that they've put up on their website yet. They do have deposits on some figures outside of Joy Toy. I wouldn't be surprised when they start putting up figures like the Dreadnought at $169. They eventually will start putting an NRD, and that is non-refundable. So if you cancel your order, and let's say they want $20 for a Dreadnought as a deposit, if you cancel that order, you forfeit your $20. You're not getting that back. I mean, you can call management as much as you want. That money is as good as theirs. They do offer $4 flat rate shipping, which you can't beat that. So this is a really good, reliable website. A lot of things do go in and out of stock, so I would watch that. What a lot of collectors like to do is they'll run to this site and pre-order stuff, and they'll let it sit there. They'll find it somewhere else cheaper, and then they'll cancel. Once that's canceled, their website updates. I think it's every 7 minutes. So if you're one of those type of people that have been watching a pre-order that's showing sold out, and you're hoping and crossing your fingers that it pops back up, just refresh that page every few minutes. And if somebody cancels, it'll it'll update and it'll be there. But again, great website. The next one is Entertainment Earth. It's another U.S. distributor. Their prices are, as you can see, a lot higher. They're asking an extra $10 for their Dreadnought, $179.99. But as you can see here, for like the Chaos Space Marine Black Legion Brother Nargost, it shows one left. The nice thing about this website is it will typically tell you stock. Anytime a figure gets under 10 pieces in stock, they'll go ahead and notify you this way, as you can see with that red sign, which basically means, hey, get it. And again, go run through all these websites. If another page still has it, don't stress over it. Run through all your other websites that are listed here, and if they have something that's not sold out, then you know, hey, I don't have to stress about it. I'll let this one go. But in a great case scenario, if somebody else is sold out, then you know, okay, this one, it's got one left. I'm going to go ahead and get it now. So Entertainment Earth is a great option. The next one is Show Z. I have not used this website. I know there's a lot of members in the Discord that talk highly of this website. As you can see, their prices here, they're fairly decent, honestly. You know, you get a Black Templar Blade Guard for $43.99. That one shows it's 12% off on sale. But they do offer a lot of pre-orders. None of these sites, now that I'm thinking of it, none of these sites will be selling any Chinese exclusive parts to anyone outside of China. If you were thinking, hey, he's naming off Chinese-based websites, I'm going to go to them, maybe I'll get some of those head sculpts like the Blood Angels that were supposed to have the other heads. They're not going to include those with any of their items that are going outside of China. If I got your hopes up mentioning these websites, I'm going to go ahead and pull you off your high horse right now and let you know it's not going to happen. But back to this shop, it's, like I said, there's been a lot of people that said it's a good shop. I've never personally used it, but from looking at the prices that they have listed, it looks like a great option. And the next store is Flaima Toy. I'm not really sure how to pronounce this one. This is another Chinese-based website. They do offer nice tiers. As you can see, there's a $5 off code for $49. There's a $10 off for $99 and $20 off for $199, which you can really stack. As you can see, they have their MSRPs crossed out with their sales price already. So if you wanted to go after those Imperial Fists, it looks like they're $42.90. I don't think that's each. I know there's a lot of figures in that first wave there that were more than others. Your aggressors cost more. I'm going to assume that $42.90 is going to be the non-aggressor figures, your intercessors. But you can see here, $42.90 for your Imperial Fist intercessors. That's not going to include the aggressor. That aggressor is more than likely more. But you get a couple in your cart, and you already got 3 different codes to choose from to save you some extra money. And again, these Chinese-based companies, they always get their stock first. Obviously, they're local, and they get those mailed out quicker. A thing I did not mention is Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, USA Gundam, and Sideshow. Any U.S.-based companies, they're going to get their stock last. So Locker Toys, Flaima, Cool Toys Club, with them being in China, they're going to get their stock first. They're going to get it out to you. The difference in wait time has been about 3 months. Some of them I've seen longer. Some of them have been closer to 6 months. I know when this line first started releasing back in September of last year, a lot of people had their intercessors in hand, and people wondered how they were able to get them because the word was Games Workshop was our only option if you were outside of China. Well, those collectors found these Chinese websites and started purchasing from them. And they had theirs in hand. I think the first wave was in hand. I want to say it was in November. And those that ordered from Games Workshop didn't get theirs in hand until almost April. And that had been the case for quite some time for every other U.S. distributor. So if you're going through these other sites and you're pre-ordering figures, check your shipping dates and compare them to those in China, because if you don't get something out of China, you're going to be stuck waiting for a while. You're going to be looking at everybody's YouTube reviews and having fun with theirs while you're stuck looking at a loading screen for a website that you use, and you're going to be waiting 6 months just drooling over everybody's videos. And the last store on the list is Hobby Galaxy. Now, I found this one on Google today. I have not heard of it. I looked up a lot of reviews, ran it through a few scam sites to look and see if they were bogus. They check out. Now, a lot of their prices are much lower than normal. That Hellbrute at $129, that's Chinese market prices. That's an amazing price. They've got their MSRP at 179, which, I mean, that's too high. But if you look at their orc set, that orc set's MSRP was 479. I think China was selling theirs week one for 340. So this website has some pretty good deals. They're US based, so go ahead and shop around on these sites. Run anything through Google. If you don't feel comfortable taking my word, I don't blame you. That's fine. No hard feelings, but do your research. But when I tell you to go through a Chinese shop, if you want your stuff cheaper and faster, it's the way to go. Your shipping is somehow cheaper from coming from China than it is one of these U.S. distributors that ship out of California. But that's the shopping side of it. So the next side of it is, where the hell do I start? The best thing that I can tell you is, being a completionist in this line is not going to be feasible for most people. If you're not familiar with Warhammer and the tabletop side of it, or I guess its origins, a lot of the people that play tabletop have money. And that's not a knock. That's not me talking shit. It's just the truth. A lot of those miniatures are expensive. There's no difference with these figures. These figures do get expensive. Now, when you find a deal on somebody like USA Gundam where you're spending $21 for a Krieg, that's a good price. You want to jump on that. The MSRP on those Krieg were between $28 and $32. You look at the Chaos Legion, most of those figures are between $60 and $70 a pop. So if you're big into Chaos, you can already sit here and look at some of these pictures, and you can start doing that math in your head and realizing, oh shit, this is an expensive thing. It's not Hot Toys level, but once you start to see that shelf grow, you do get into that Hot Toys territory really quick. As of right now, there's 107 releases. That's not individual figures. So when this line first started, they were doing sets. They were doing sets of 4. So there was the very first Ultramarines Intercessors. There was 3 of those packs. I think one was an Incursor. Then you had the Blood Angels Death Company. That was also a 4-pack. Then we got surprised with an Invictor Warsuit, then a Librarian, then we got a Space Wolves 4-pack. They kind of ventured away from that idea when they went into Chaos. We got a Space Wolves Invictor, we got a Captain, we got a 3-pack of Aggressors, we got a 3-pack of Black Legion Chaos figures, but they also released those individually, which was kind of strange. We got a 3-pack of Reavers. Our very last set was the Inceptors. After that, everything has been a single release, other than an Orc with a Squig, or a Space Wolf with a Wolf, or actually that's it. So they sold their bikes separately from their riders. Everything after those original sets have all been separate. So the best thing that you can do if you want to jump in on this line, you've been sitting at the sidelines really wanting to get in, but you didn't know exactly where to start. The best thing you want to do is pick a chapter. If Ultramarines is your chapter, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be spending the most money out of everybody. There's 33 releases from Ultramarines, but if we start including figures like the Invictor Warsuit, which is technically 2, you get the machine, you get the pilot, you got those 3 4-packs, you got 3 3-packs, you're talking 48 individual figures. If you don't have the room and you're trying to go all in on Ultramarines, you're going to go broke quick. Maybe you can do it, I don't know. But pick your chapter. I'm going to run through this list real fast of what chapters are currently available. So like I said, we have the Ultramarines, we got Blood Angels, we got Space Wolves, we have Chaos, Imperial Fists, the Krieg, Black Templar, Orcs, and Grey Knights. So that's all that's been announced officially as of right now. That's all that's up for pre-order right now. On this list, I've got 3 slides, and this list I should have mentioned a minute ago to give credit to Christ Salad. That's KRYSALID. He is a member of the Discord. He does fantastic work on making these checklists for us. The old way that we did things was we just wrote it all out. And this way it gives us more of a visual guide. It's got that really cool old school checklist feel to it. So if you wanted to print these out and keep it handy so you can actually grab a marker and check off what you have. But yeah, so those are the current chapters. Blood Angels, there's 14 releases, but it puts you at 17 figures total. Space Wolves has 12 releases, but 18 figures total. 2 of those 18 are wolves. Are they characters? It's up to you to decide. Chaos has 13 releases, 15 figures total. Imperial Fist is 11 releases total, 11 figures total. The Krieg is 6 releases, 6 figures total. Black Templar is only at 3 figures total, one of those being a bike. Black Templar would be a great set to just jump right in on. Three pickups and you're all caught up as far as Black Templar go. So that's just going to be a blade guard, a bike, and one of the bike riders. It's a great starter option. The Orcs have 7 releases, 8 figures total, one being a squig, and the Grey Knights have 6 releases, 6 figure total. All of those are still on pre-order. None have released from Grey Knights yet. So if you kind of just look through these checklist pictures, you can kind of get an idea of what all these figures look like. We are missing the most recent reveals on here, which was Crow, the new Blade Guard Builder 2.0, a few Ultramarines, the new Captain. I know for me, when this line first came out, I thought, hey, I'm going to go all in. I'm getting everything they release. And I can tell you after the very first Space Wolves 4-pack that I was burnt out. There was a lot of money flying out the bank account. I got Chaos in there. I got the Space Wolves and Victor Warsuit. I got the Captain. And after that Captain, I kind of had a pause. A lot of collectors can remember that about the time before that Captain release, we went into Chinese New Year. And we were told, hey, there's not going to be any releases. So we sat back, and that's when they started dropping some reveals. And it seemed like it was every other day there was new reveals. So they may have been on holiday, but them boys are still over there working. But again, at that point, it got to be every week there was a new reveal. It seemed like every other week there was new pre-orders dropping left and right. And here we are in September, and that train's still moving. So for anyone that's a completionist, man, more respect to you. I don't know how you do it, where you find the room. And room is a really another good thing to bring up. If you just have a little shelf, these figures, although they're 1/18 scale, they don't really take up a lot of room. Once you start getting a couple on that shelf, they really can take some room up, especially if you have them in big dynamic poses. They're in a battle, kind of have them spaced out a little bit to give them some breathing room. It's going to be up to you to decide where to start. And honestly, that comes down to you picking a chapter and sticking to that chapter. There's tons more reveals coming this year. I saw the leak list. I'm sure that's around the internet. Everybody's seen it at this point, but I am going to still do a video on it to kind of chat. But those are coming, man. They're working on more prototypes. There's more stuff that hasn't been leaked, hasn't been announced. And I can tell you, again, going back to picking chapters, if you're going Ultramarines, they're going to make one of everything for the Ultramarines. Now, scale-wise, that's more than likely not going to go past the Knight. That Knight's probably going to be 20 to 24 inches tall. I don't see them going past that. But tanks, it could happen. But who knows? But use these stores as a guide. Hopefully you guys save some money. You find a store that you're comfortable with. You can stick with it. Maybe you can rack up some reward points to use those towards future purchases. I am going to plug Cool's Toys Club again with Lloyd Chen. If you're a member of our Discord, he does sponsor us. He gives us one free figure to give away every month. So go ahead and look me up at Twitter. It's at JoyToyWarhammer. In the bio of that Twitter account, you'll see a link that goes straight into our Discord. It's free to join Discord. It costs you nothing. You can come in and lurk. You don't have to say a damn thing. But when those giveaways come up, make sure that you follow the rules in there on how to join those giveaways. We should have one coming up in about 3 weeks. But find me on TikTok. That's also at JoyToyWarhammer. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And until next time, guys, have a good one.